If you've ever felt like the world around you just didn't make sense, like you were wired differently, like no matter how hard you tried to fit in, something inside you kept pulling you away from the crowd, it's because you were never meant to blend in. You were meant to break out. You were meant to rise. You were meant to lead. This message isn't for the masses. It's for the marked. And if you're still here, if your spirit hasn't let you scroll away or click out, then take this as confirmation. You are a chosen one, and God didn't pick you randomly. He picked you intentionally, purposefully, powerfully. Before you ever took your first breath, before anyone ever doubted you or underestimated you, before life ever tried to beat you down or box you in, God had already spoken your name into the heavens and attached a destiny so massive, so abundant, so unstoppable to your life that no demon in hell could erase it. You've been marked by divine fire, chosen for a path that won't look like anyone else's, because you weren't created to live like everyone else. That stirring inside of you, that whisper telling you you're meant for more, that isn't ego, that's legacy, that's destiny. That's God confirming what He already wrote over your life. You've been chosen to step into abundance, not just for yourself, but to shift the entire atmosphere around you. You weren't made for lack. You weren't made for average. You were made for billions. And I'm not talking about material wealth alone. I'm talking about impact, about divine overflow, about influence that rewrites the future for everyone connected to you. This isn't hype. This is heaven speaking. God doesn't choose people based on what the world values. He chooses based on what He placed inside of you. And what He placed inside of you, it's rare, it's unstoppable, it's rich. That's why you've been through so much, because pressure always precedes promotion. The attacks weren't proof of your weakness, they were proof of your calling. The setbacks weren't punishment, they were preparation. You were being trained for this moment, for this revelation, for this rise. God didn't just save you from something. He saved you for something. And now that something is knocking at your door. It's not just opportunity. It's not just wealth. It's destiny. You've been chosen to carry billionaire-level vision, purpose, and provision. And the only thing left for you to do is to say yes. Fully, boldly, fearlessly. Let me be clear. This isn't about chasing money. This is about answering a divine call that was placed on your life long before you had language to describe it. You see, God never anoints without a reason. He never calls someone higher just so they can sit at the top alone. You weren't chosen to hoard, you were chosen to heal. Your hands were built not just to count blessings, but to create them for others. God's plan for your billions isn't just to elevate your life, it's to expand your reach. Every dollar coming your way has a mission attached to it. Every opportunity being sent your way is pregnant with purpose. This isn't about shiny things or surface-level success. This is about divine stewardship. You're about to be trusted with more than you ever thought possible. Not because of your resume, but because of your responsibility. God knows He can trust you to build, to bless, to lead, and to lift. That's why He's unlocking wealth that eyes haven't seen and ears haven't heard. It's not just coming to you. It's coming through you. There's a kingdom attached to your calling. There are lives attached to your obedience. There are generations waiting for your yes to unlock the legacy that's been buried under fear, doubt, and delay. And now God is saying, enough. Now is the time. So don't shrink. Don't play small. Don't let the opinions of the crowd drown out the whisper of the Creator. You're not just here to live a good life. You're here to fund visions, to back purpose, to bring heaven's solutions into Earth's systems. You were chosen for this, marked for this, born for this. God is not looking for perfect people. He's looking for available ones. And if you've got the courage to believe what He says over what you see, then get ready, because He's about to blow your mind. The billions are already in motion. The divine alignments are already unfolding. The only thing left to do is receive. This is your moment. Own it. Chosen one, let me tell you a truth that most people will never understand. You are not chasing wealth. You're not meant to run after blessings like they're hiding from you. You were designed to attract them. When God places his hand on someone, the laws of the natural world bend. You don't operate by the same rules. You're not playing the same game. While others grind themselves into exhaustion trying to climb the ladder, God is sending the elevator straight to you, because favor moves faster than force. When you walk in alignment with your calling, money doesn't resist you. It recognizes you. It hears the echo of heaven on your life, and it responds. You become a magnet, pulling in divine connections, unexpected opportunities, and supernatural resources. The world will try to tell you that wealth comes through burnout, through hustle, through compromising your soul just to get ahead. But God's system is different. God doesn't bless manipulation. He blesses magnetism. And that magnetism comes from one thing: alignment. The moment you step into who you truly are, fully, boldly, unapologetically, the moment you stop hiding your gift or shrinking your calling, heaven responds. You don't need to convince anyone. You don't need to compete. You don't even need to chase. What's for you is already drawn to you by design. You are a divine signal. You are marked with spiritual gravity. And that means favor, influence, and yes, billionaire-level provision are already in motion, circling around you, waiting for you to become the version of yourself that can hold it. Not the version watered down by fear, not the version weakened by other people's opinions, but the version that knows, without a shadow of doubt, I was chosen for more. The world will call it luck. They'll say you were in the right place at the right time, but you'll know the truth. You were in the right alignment with the right God. And that kind of alignment attracts everything you need, without you needing to force anything at all. Now here's the key that unlocks it all. Faith. Not passive belief, not wishful thinking. Real, raw, active faith. Faith that moves before the facts line up. Faith that doesn't need confirmation from the world, because it already has revelation from heaven. That's the currency of the kingdom. God doesn't require credentials. He requires confidence in Him. You see, faith isn't just belief. It's obedience in motion. It's stepping out when it doesn't make sense. It's taking the risk when logic tells you to play it safe. It's starting the business, launching the brand, sowing the seed, applying for the opportunity before the evidence ever shows up. The world says, "Show me, then I'll believe." God says, "Believe, and I'll show you." Right now, heaven is watching to see what you'll do with this truth, because what you're hearing isn't just inspiration, it's an invitation. An invitation to stop operating by the limits of sight and start operating by the limitless power of faith. Your future isn't waiting on more money, it's waiting on more movement. The billions are already assigned to you. The overflow is already stored up. The question isn't if it's coming. The question is, will you move like it already has? Faith doesn't sit still. Faith doesn't ask permission. Faith acts. And when faith moves, so does heaven. Doors begin to open. People begin to call. Ideas begin to flow. Provision begins to manifest in places you never even thought to look. That's the difference between those who wait on wealth and those who walk into it. Chosen one, this is the season to walk. Not with hesitation, not with doubt, but with boldness. You don't have to see the full staircase. Just take the first step. That step might feel small, but in the spirit realm, it echoes. It signals to heaven, "I trust you more than I fear this." And when heaven hears faith, it responds with favor. There is a frequency that faith gives off, and right now, yours is rising. That inner fire you're feeling, that stirring in your chest, That's the ignition. That's the beginning of the unlocking. Wealth isn't just about strategy. It's about supernatural surrender. When you believe what God said, more than what life has shown you, you step into a power that makes no sense to the natural mind. But it doesn't have to. Because you weren't chosen to live a normal life. You were chosen to live a supernatural one. Let this sink deep. Everything God has promised you is still available. Every dollar, every opportunity, every open door. It hasn't expired. It hasn't passed you by. It's been waiting for your faith to rise to the level of your calling. And today, right now, that faith is being activated. This is your moment to trade in fear for fire, to move as if the promise has already been fulfilled, to act like a billionaire in the spirit before your bank account catches up. Because it will catch up. Your external world always aligns with your internal belief. And the moment you believe without compromise, without backup plans, without excuses, the moment you fully lean into what God said about you, you become unstoppable. And the wealth you've been praying for, it rushes in like a flood. You don't need another sign. This is the sign. You don't need another confirmation. Heaven is already speaking. And it's saying this loud and clear. Chosen one, your faith is the key. Use it. Unlock it. The wealth isn't waiting. It's ready. Let's make something crystal clear. You weren't chosen at random. You weren't picked because of your popularity, your resume, your connections, or your status. You were chosen because you carry something rare, something heaven values, something money can't buy and time can't take away. God looked at the blueprint of this generation, saw a gap, saw a need, saw a divine assignment that couldn't be fulfilled by just anyone, and He chose you. Not because you were perfect, but because you were purposed. The reason you've always felt like an outsider, the reason people didn't understand your fire, the reason the road has been heavier for you than it was for others, is because you were built to carry something most people can't even handle. You weren't called to follow the trend. You were called to set the temperature. You weren't created to take orders from the world. You were created to take dominion over it. That deep stirring in your soul, that constant inner whisper telling you, there's more. That's not ambition. That's divine memory. That's your spirit remembering the assignment God placed on you before you were even born. And because you've been chosen to carry so much, you've had to endure more than most. The battles, they were never punishment. They were training. The betrayals, those were lessons in discernment. The silence, that was God building you in private before presenting you in public. You were being sculpted, not punished. And the weight of what you've carried, that's your evidence. Because only a billionaire in the spirit can survive the kind of storms you've walked through and still come out with your faith intact. Chosen one, you are qualified because of what you've endured, not in spite of it. Every closed door, every delay, every detour, it wasn't rejection, it was redirection. Heaven never wastes pain. And God has been stacking every tear, every late night, every silent prayer into the foundation of something unshakable. You didn't miss your moment. Your moment has been maturing. And now it's ready. Now you are ready. Because the kind of wealth God's about to release in your life isn't just about cash. It's about capacity. It's about leadership. It's about purpose on a level that shakes generations. That's why you were set apart. That's why you couldn't quit even when everything in you wanted to. Because there are people on the other side of your obedience. Lives are attached to your yes. And you're not just chosen for success, you're chosen for legacy. That's why God is trusting you with billions. Not just to live well, but to lead well, give well, build well, and bless well. You've been built in the fire because you're called to shine brighter than most. And now, It's time to activate what's been inside you all along. But don't overlook the next truth I'm about to say, because it's going to unlock a new level of clarity in your spirit. You already have everything you need to become the billionaire you were born to be. The idea you've been sitting on, the dream you've been downplaying, the vision you've been afraid to speak out loud because it feels too big. That's not a coincidence. It's a seed, a billion-dollar seed, planted directly by God Himself. And if you've been wondering why you can't shake it, why it keeps coming back to your mind, why it won't leave you alone, it's because that idea isn't from you. It was given to you. You are the vessel for its manifestation. You've been anointed to birth something that breaks boundaries. You've been entrusted with a strategy that can't be explained by logic. The world might not recognize it yet. Your family might not see it. Your friends might think you're dreaming too big. But heaven knows exactly what it gave you. And it's waiting on you to stop questioning it and start walking in it. That concept you scribbled in a notebook 3 years ago, that side hustle you've been treating like a hobby, that business model you created and then abandoned because you didn't feel ready. It's not just a dream, it's a divine instruction. It's heaven's strategy disguised as an idea. It's not random, it's not small, and it's not too late. It's the very thing that's going to take you from not enough to more than enough. But here's the key. You have to stop disqualifying what God has already qualified. Stop talking yourself out of the very thing He placed inside you on purpose. That idea has wealth on it. That vision has favor on it. That gift you keep hiding has power in it. And if you don't use it, someone else is going to suffer. Because what's in you was never just for you. God doesn't give billion-dollar ideas to billion-dollar souls for decoration. He gives them for distribution. You've been sitting on gold thinking it's just dust. You've been burying talent because you're afraid of failure. But failure isn't your enemy. Fear is. And today, that fear breaks. Today, that hesitation shatters. You've been waiting for the right time. But let me tell you, there is no perfect time to move. There is only obedience. And obedience always unlocks overflow. The very moment you begin to act, even if it's messy, even if it's unsure, heaven will rush in to fill every gap. God never calls the equipped. He equips the called. And you've already been called, chosen, anointed, appointed, and backed by the full weight of heaven. That billion-dollar dream inside you, it's not an accident. It's not a fantasy. It's not an exaggeration. It's an assignment. And the moment you stop waiting for a sign and start walking like it's already done, you will see the floodgates open. Divine connections will find you. Strategic partnerships will be revealed. Ideas will flow with clarity. Your hands will produce what your heart has carried for years. This is the season where vision becomes visible. This is the moment where the buried becomes birthed. You've been trusted with much. Now it's time to build with it. Your gift is a gold mine. Your mind is a vault. Your spirit is the headquarters of heaven's strategy. The billions are already inside you. And now, it's time to let them out. There are moments in life when everything shifts. Not because of effort, not because of luck, not because you did everything perfectly, but because heaven says, now. And this is that moment. Chosen one. You've been in the shadows long enough. You've waited, prayed, fought, believed, been stretched, been broken, been refined. And now, the shift has begun. It's not coming. It's here. This isn't a someday prophecy. It's a today reality. You've stepped into the breakthrough season, and nothing will ever look the same again. The atmosphere around you is changing. The wind is shifting in your favor. The delays that used to frustrate you are now making sense. God wasn't holding you back. He was setting you up. While you were waiting, He was working. While you were questioning, He was positioning. While you were doubting, He was designing the kind of comeback story that only a chosen one could carry. You've entered the season where everything accelerates. What used to take years will now happen in months. The connections you've been praying for will appear out of nowhere, not because you chased them, but because favor chased you. The deals will come together. The doors will swing open. The phone calls, the contracts, the opportunities, they're all aligning in the spirit. You don't need to beg. You don't need to hustle for scraps anymore. When you walk in divine timing, provision doesn't crawl, it erupts. You're not in the season of slow harvest anymore. You're in the season of supernatural speed. One idea, one meeting, one moment. That's all it takes for everything to flip. You've been faithful over little, and now you're about to be trusted with much. This isn't random. This is the reward of obedience. This is what happens when a chosen one refuses to bow to fear and stands up in faith. But let's be honest, the weight of the wait has been heavy. And that's exactly why the breakthrough will be unforgettable. You didn't just survive the wilderness. You learned in it. You grew in it. You got stronger. You learned to hear God without noise, to move without applause, to trust without clarity. And now, all of that preparation is becoming power. You've been prepared in private for a public release. And when this release happens, it won't make sense to the world. They'll try to explain it, dissect it, understand it, but they won't be able to. Because what's happening in your life isn't a result of worldly systems. It's a divine interruption, a sudden shift, a breakthrough that has heaven's fingerprint all over it. And no one can block what God has unlocked. But understand this. Whenever you step into breakthrough, resistance tries to rise. That's the cost of elevation. The higher you go, the thinner the air, the fewer people can handle your altitude. You've got to be prepared for the friction that comes with favor. Not everyone will clap. Not everyone will understand. Some people will question how you went from overlooked to overflowing. But their confusion is not your concern. Your breakthrough wasn't voted on. It was spoken over. And no opinion on earth can cancel a promise from heaven. But don't be surprised when the enemy tries to come in through the side door. Doubt, delay, discouragement. They all show up in disguise, hoping you'll slow down just before the release drops. That's how the enemy works. He doesn't mind you dreaming. He just wants to stop you from moving. So hear this. Resistance is not a sign you're off track. It's confirmation you're getting closer. If the enemy is trying to distract you, it's because he sees what's coming. But guess what? He's too late. Because chosen ones don't fold under pressure. They rise in it. You've already outlived every attack that was designed to take you out. You've already broken every cycle that tried to repeat itself. You're not fragile. You're fortified. God didn't bring you this far just to tease you with possibility. He brought you here to deliver results. This is the moment where your boldness must be louder than your fear. Your movement must be bigger than your doubts. You don't owe your old story any more loyalty. You don't owe your old limits any more explanations. You don't owe your past self anything but gratitude, because they kept going long enough to get you here. Now it's time to walk like someone who's already won. The wealth is not the reward, the obedience is. But make no mistake, wealth is coming. Massive, unexpected, supernatural wealth. Wealth that doesn't just meet your needs but multiplies through you. Wealth that's tied to purpose, not pride. And that kind of wealth attracts resistance, but it also carries authority. You don't need to run from the resistance. You need to rise above it. Stand firm. Keep building. Keep moving. Keep showing up like it's already done. The enemy cannot stop what's been sealed by God. No attack, no delay, no betrayal, no setback can block what's been assigned to your name. And if you've ever doubted that before, let this moment serve as your reminder. You are not just built for breakthrough. You are the breakthrough. You are the one your bloodline has been waiting for. You are the cycle breaker, the chain snapper, the first billionaire in the family, the one who said, "It ends with me, and it begins again with me." This is your rise. and no weapon formed against it will prosper. Not now. Not ever. Chosen one, let this settle deep into your spirit. What God is doing through you is not just about you. The calling on your life is generational. The wealth you're stepping into is not simply to upgrade your lifestyle, it's to rewrite your legacy. This is bigger than new clothes, new cars, or new homes. This is about changing what your last name means for the people coming after you. You are the one God chose to shift the entire bloodline. You are the one He trusted to break cycles of poverty, lack, and fear. You are the one who will introduce abundance to your lineage. Not just abundance in money, but abundance in mindset, faith, and favor. You're not building for comfort. You're building for the continuation of divine purpose through generations. Every decision you make in this moment is planting seeds your children and your children's children will harvest. You're not just a person with a vision. You're a walking blueprint for kingdom expansion. Think about this. How many people in your family never had the chance to live free? How many carried dreams they never got to chase? How many died with brilliance still inside them because no one around them believed it was possible? Now here you are, the one chosen to carry what they couldn't, to finish what they started, to step into what they only dreamed about. You are the answer to their prayers, the fulfillment of their hopes. You are the continuation of what they believed for, even if they never saw it with their eyes. And it's your faith that will unlock what their hands never could. You are not a fluke. You are not an accident. You are heaven's response to generational lack. God didn't raise you up to maintain the struggle. He raised you up to cancel it. And once that wealth flows through your hands, it won't stop with you. It'll pour through you like a river, flooding into dry places, reviving dead dreams, and restoring everything the enemy tried to steal from your family tree. Your rise will be loud. It will be seen. It will be undeniable. Not because you forced it, but because you faithed it. And when it happens, when the billions begin to land, when the overflow becomes normal, when what was once impossible becomes your daily reality, you'll realize this was never about just making money. It was about making history. This is how you build something that echoes beyond your lifetime. This is how you turn favor into foundation. This is how you create impact that keeps working even after you're gone. The wealth you're walking into is designed to be passed down. God's not just blessing you for now, He's blessing you for what's next. And when your children walk into rooms you never entered, and when they speak with confidence you didn't have growing up, you'll know. That was the purpose all along. That was the assignment. But now, chosen one, it's your turn to say yes. No more hesitation. No more second guessing. No more waiting for the stars to align or the circumstances to feel perfect. You're not waiting on another sign. You are the sign. Heaven is not asking for perfection. It's asking for permission. Permission to move through you. Permission to multiply what's inside you. Permission to flood your life with more than you've ever imagined. Your yes is the doorway. Your agreement is the access point. When you say yes, you're not just accepting wealth, you're accepting responsibility, stewardship, leadership. You're accepting the call to become who you were always meant to be. You're accepting your billionaire identity, not as a title, but as a testimony. You are walking into a life where overflow becomes your norm, where provision isn't a prayer, it's a promise. Where you don't wonder if it will happen, you know it already has. And you live from that knowing. You build from that knowing. You give from that knowing. But it all begins with one decision, one moment, one step of faith, one surrender, one agreement with heaven that says, I'm ready. Because God has already prepared the land. The table is already set. The inheritance has already been written in your name. He's just been waiting for you to believe you're worthy of it. So believe. Believe boldly. Believe like everything is already done. Because in the spirit, it is. The billions are not far off. They're not hidden. They're not held back. They are waiting for your obedience, waiting for your movement, waiting for your action. And that action doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be faithful. The kingdom doesn't reward performance. It rewards trust. When you move, you signal heaven that you're ready. And when heaven sees a ready vessel, it releases supernatural acceleration. The favor starts to compound. The wealth begins to chase you. The opportunities multiply beyond logic. Not because you have it all figured out, but because you finally decided to say yes. So say yes today. Say yes with your heart. Say yes with your words. Say yes with your actions. Say yes to the calling. Say yes to the billions. Say yes to the legacy. Because chosen one, the future has been waiting on you. And now it begins.